Hello there, how are you keeping? Welcome back to the Arctic winter here in Out of War. So we set up our wash plant there in the last episode, the fully automated wash plant. So now we need to feed some material to that plant to start making some cash up here on this mountain. So we're going to set ourselves up a dump deck here today. Now instead of blasting a hole on the ground like I usually would, I see there's a little bit of a depression here in the ground, so let's go ahead and take advantage of that. So I've laid out a bit of a concrete foundation here. Now it's going to be at least a 4-hopper dump deck, but I may try and set up an 8-hopper dump deck there just to see if I can make it work. So I have the first 4 hoppers here bought in my inventory. So let's go ahead here and put our grid build and see if we can't set this up without much hassle. So then I want these inner pieces to face each other. The side which we would feed the hopper, I should say. But it's proving to be a little bit tricky at the moment. Okay, let's rotate you. Okay, so like this, but lined up obviously. Let's go ahead there and see if we can't get these two line up. Okay, like that, but it keeps changing the grid on me when I'm rotating. Oh man. I guess I was lucky the last time I did this, set it up in pretty much no time, but it wants to be difficult right now. So like that, but it's in the wrong position. There we go. Now we got them in place. That's step 1. So this is the first 4. Now over here on the ends we're going to put our power input, and we're going to connect this other end here so that dirt feeds back in through the 4 hoppers. So we need a couple of angled pieces here. So we got our left there and we have our right here. Okay, so that's the wrong one. We need another left, in fact. There we go, beautiful. So there's our first 4 set up. Now what I want to do is set up another 4 the exact same there. So we're going to have to build on a little bit to our foundation here, but that's no issue. Another couple of blocks there and we're all set. Let's get back into our store then and set up another 4 hoppers. We may as well grab 2 more lefts while we're in here. And it's just a big hopper, so let's get 4 of these. And hopefully we can set these up without much hassle. Okay, like that. There we are. We can just get you to snap on there. Okay, let's jump up on top of the hoppers here. Might do the trick for me. Okay, so let's rotate you in. God, it's so finicky. There we go. Beautiful. Now we just need to connect either side of this just like we did previously. As I suspected, we're going to have to do a little bit of blasting anyway. Let's get the Anfa out there. The detonator. And we can clean up this a little bit here just to make room for those conveyors. And a small bit more. There we go. Let's get our left piece on here. And our left piece on there. Beautiful. So that's all four of them connected on the second set there. We're going to need ourselves another power input. 10 speed, of course. The machinery we're using is pretty big now, so we want to have a good investment in our machinery. So then, we're going to go ahead and join these two conveyors up at the end here with a merger, and it will all come out on one conveyor then. So I'm going to go ahead and get myself another couple of left pieces there. So there the left is. And we can go ahead and buy ourselves a merger. Why not? Okay, so it's not actually going to do what I would like it to do. It will do it. That's perfect. That's what I had in mind. Now we need a little piece to connect us there. And I don't actually think that I can buy a piece that's small. Let's go into our conveyors here. Conveyors. I would imagine that that's a 2-meter piece. We do have a 2-meter stress. Beautiful. Is that actually facing the right way? I do wonder. There we go. Now we're all set up. So then, we're going to feed this over to our plant there. But what I want to do first is kind of build up to the top here to get an idea of how much room we're going to need. Oops, I'm stuck. And there's no crouch button in this game, so might be doomed. Alrighty then, let's get a few more blocks out here and fill this in real quickly just to get an idea what I'm looking at. And we can build this just straight into this mountainside here, as that will be the level ground I want to kind of keep around the top of this here. A little bit more building then, and we can set up our conveyor to the wash plant there. And we need to place down our actual dump decks, so let's go into the store here and buy a whole bunch of those. Not quite sure how many we need there for each hopper, but we'll go ahead and buy 60 of them for now and see how we get on with those. And looks like I just about got lucky there and bought enough of them. Should have maybe one or two spare ones left over. I'm actually short 4. So we just need 4 more of them. Nice and easy. So we can get out our blocks again and just kind of give ourselves an outline here. And I think I will leave those conveyors at the end exposed there, just as a kind of a marker for my rock truck when I'm backing in. Yeah, and that's a huge dump deck there. We'll absolutely have no excuse for missing any material. And we can just kind of block this up here. Maybe we can build a ramp up. We will see how it plays out here. But for now, I'm quite happy that that's the size I'm going for. Alrighty then, so on to actually getting the material over to the hopper. You can see in the distance there. Let's go ahead there and get ourselves an elevator. Elevator. And we have a right piece in the inventory, so we should be good. So can I attach the right on there? I can. So we need a bunch of straight pieces here. So we just type in 8 meter, we should get it there. So let's go ahead and buy 10 of those for now, or 9 of those should do. Let's see how far we can get. So that's getting me over the kind of a large hole there in the ground. And I want to buy myself a left piece there. I need a left and a right, I believe. So there's the left. We have a bunch of straight pieces here. That's going to get us most of the way, I believe. I hope at least. So I think I need one more there. Then we can throw on the right piece. And let's use this last straight piece. We're just about missing there. But that's okay. We can go ahead and get ourselves another right. So we need a right, and I think I'm going to use an up conveyor or 2 here. So let's go ahead and get that and get one more straight piece. So we can put the straight on. Then let's throw the up piece on there. Will that get us there? It will. It's a little bit too far, in fact. We can throw 2 right pieces on. That should bring us back in. So we need right, and we also need a chute here. Let's get myself in first person so I can actually see. And okay, let's just get ourselves a 2 meter straight piece there, just to make sure that we're actually hitting that hopper. That's a piece of pipe, my mistake. Pipe, so there it is. and we can throw our chute on there, and that is absolutely hitting our hopper. Okay, so our dump deck is connected. Then now we need some power for this dump deck over here. So then it is 8 hoppers and quite a decent conveyor system there, so I'm thinking it's going to need its own power source there. So then let's actually go and have a look in the store what our options are. Remove that text there. I suppose this big turbine is the obvious answer. We do have a coal generator going over there on the wash plant itself. But I think I'm just going to get a turbine here. Let's get ourselves, we do need a pylon in fact. That's an 1800 kilowatts. Let's go ahead and buy this one here. We're going to need ourselves a couple of cables there. Power cables, that is. There we go. So this wind turbine then, let's throw you down there. It should be reasonably good. And I want to run my power over here. So then we may actually need a couple of pylons. We'll see how it goes. If this will reach the first one here, and it does quite nicely actually. Let's drop down here. And I can't actually see, which is an issue. Let's get out the sledgehammer. So then let's try and get the farthest one connected first. That should reach there, no problem, and it does. So we need one more power cable then. Alrighty, let's switch this turbine on and make sure that it's actually able to power this. Well, I need to turn on the power inputs to the hoppers first. Let's just throw a bit of a concrete foundation around that there real quick while we're here, so it's not floating in the air like the rest of this down here. But that's okay. That is okay. Alrighty then. So on and on. So it won't actually let me turn this second one on. Do we have enough power? So the unit load is 1600. We don't actually have enough power. So I need to put more power to this pylon here. So we're going to have to go ahead there and buy ourselves another power cable and also another turbine. Is that what it's called? It is. Beautiful. So then let's go ahead and throw this turbine down just over here somewhere that I can reach that power pylon. Again, a few blocks, nothing fancy, just get it done. There we are. Let's throw one in under there as well, why not? So then let's hook that up to the pylon, and that should give me enough juice to run that second set of 4 hoppers there. If I can get my mouse to line up with this pylon, that is. We'll run over here and try and make it a little bit easier. Now then, let's turn this on. There we go. So then, beautiful. So all 8 hoppers are in fact running there on their own power grid. That's nice. We can close this back up then with a little bit of block work there. Alrighty, so let's get ourselves a machine out here and run a bit of dirt through this dump deck just to make sure that it's actually working and running dirt over to our wash plant. Kind of forgot how big this loader is. Good God. Let me get down a little bit more of a concrete foundation here. So we've room to actually turn around. Oops. Now I have a bunch of gold cooked up there in my old facility, so I think I'm going to run over there and probably do a little bit of a clean up and sell what I have. We're at 4.3 million, we're doing okay, but I think we have quite a lot more, and it is a little bit expensive, all these concrete blocks. I'm doing quite a lot of building with them. Can go ahead there and grab a stack of 333. That's what I buy. 787 is the cost. 787,000, I should say. Alrighty then, that should give us enough room to at least turn that machine the correct way. Oop, and that's not what I'm going to be doing. Okay, I did read in the actual patch notes that a setting was added to turn those new dirt graphics off. So I may go ahead and have a look for that here in a second, but let's just check that this dirt has actually been fed up to that conveyor system there. And it doesn't appear to be. Should be up there by now. Not quite sure why it's not. So then this hopper is not on apparently. Interesting. Alrighty then. So do I have my power input in the wrong one perhaps? So this is the wrong piece, I would imagine. So that's a left piece, I need a right piece then. Probably need two of them in fact. So the right, there we go. Alrighty, so, and is this the correct piece over here? So let's just go ahead and rip out this concrete. That's a left piece. Okay, and that in fact is the right piece. And that is turned on. Interesting. Alright, let's feed another scoop of dirt in there and see. See if it wants to work. Okay, and it's still not working. Interesting. So that conveyor is definitely the right one. Two. Why is it not working? Interesting. Alrighty, leave this with me for a moment while I figure things out here. Okay, so after a little bit of tinkering around there, we have it figured out. So I had the power input basically on the wrong conveyor belt. So I ended up having to build this little contraption there to get things lined up correctly. Now it's not beautiful and there's a little bit of clipping going on there, but it's working and that's all that matters right now. Yeah, I'm sure there's a much better way to do this, but I cannot figure it out, so I'm kind of happy to leave it as a bit of a hideous contraption. Now, I had the whole thing dug out there at one stage trying to figure it out, but it's working now, so I'm happy enough. So let's rebuild this here, and my wash plant isn't actually switched on at the moment, so I don't want to go ahead and run too much dirt through it. But we can leave that stockpile over there for now. We can actually go ahead there and check if it is feeding into this hopper. We should have some dirt. Is my wash plant turned on? I thought it wasn't. No, in fact it's not there. You can see everything that's accumulated in it. So just 3 scoops of that loader there has this hopper at 33% capacity. Now then, I want to get over to my old facility there and do a clean out and sell up everything I have just to see where we are cash wise, before we actually start doing mining up here on the top of this mountain. You can see all the way over there in the distance where I'm heading to. And let's get ourselves down this rough path onto the roads and back home. Oop. Bit of a lip there. I should have really taken care of that when I was out there with the machines. I think I was kind of anxious to get up here and get mining. It's kind of crazy. I've forgotten that I've dug all the way up here. It's like a distant memory now, even though it was in the not too distant past. I think we'll swing by the other base first just to make sure everything is okay down there. I'm sure that it is. I'm not too sure we've any material over here. I may just run down there quickly to check though. I'm pretty sure we did a full clean out. I know that we have some coal, but I'm not too concerned with that right now. We do actually have some gold over here, so we'll go ahead and queue that over in the warehouse where I'm heading now. Might as well. I might forget about it and it'll be a little rainy day fund. So we've quite a bit of material here as well. Material, steel, I should say. Steel and aluminium, I believe. A little bit of lithium and copper there. So we can go ahead and just sell those right away. I don't think there's going to be any great value to them, but let's just see. Yes, we're doing okay. We actually made quite a lot of money there. Over 3 million. Alright, let's get myself back over to my Jeep there. Let's just have a quick check on the coal stock there. I'm sure that we have a whole bunch of it. Yeah, so that coal plant up there isn't going to be running out of power anytime soon. There's plenty of power available when and if I need it, if I can't find any coal up there on the mountain itself. But hopefully we'll run into a bit of it, so I'm not running down here. Oops. I have a bad habit of crashing into literally everything every time I get into this vehicle. I suppose the benefit of being in the loader quite a lot is you're never actually crashing into something, you're just getting another bucket, right? I should have actually grabbed a couple of stacks of coal there to smelt up our silicone into some rubber, but that's okay, we can do that another time. So I believe I had, yeah, so we have, even in these outside smelters here, we have quite a bit of material. That warehouse was really at its capacity the last time I was over here loading it up. These are the overflow, and even there is still queue left on these wash plants. But of course we will be back here again. We won't forget the very first area that we started out in the game. So what I can actually do is go ahead there and queue up a bunch of gold. Does it really matter too much at this point about having these smelters running too efficiently? Cash isn't that an issue, that is for sure. We have a little bit of silicon there. Let's get it queued up as well. Why not? We'll just call this the rainy day fund. I'll probably forget about it anyway. Bunch of silicon in that one. I do actually need to queue up my diamonds and rubies there as well. I was kind of forgetting about that part. But we'll just clear out these smelters downstairs here first. Now then, we can go ahead and queue up our diamonds and rubies. There's some ruby ore left in. There we go, that's all of it. So then, let's check upstairs. I can't even remember what I have up here, to be honest with you. A whole bunch of Washplants and a couple of smelters. Actually, more than a couple of smelters. I forgot about all of this, to be completely honest. How's my inventory looking there? Do I have much room? I should be able to get all of this cleaned out, I hope. Okay, let's just do the outside ones here first. Is there one more over there? Can't quite see. There isn't. Alrighty, we can get the inside ones then. So over in the CNC machines, I just have a bunch of components cooking up, I believe. Let's go ahead and get this cleared out there, actually. Yeah, we've quite a lot of stuff in here. Oh my god. Ooh. I don't think I'm going to bother queuing up anything else in those CNC machines. So then our inventory is full. Let's go ahead there. So we're at 6.8 million, let's just say. Let's just go ahead here and get all of this sold really quickly. We know that for a full stack of gold there, I'm getting about 1.5 mil. Some bearings, some rubies, lithium. I believe that is everything. So wow, we're at 27 million. We got over 20 mil there, and we even have a little bit of rubber there. Let me just clean up the bears here ever so slightly, get those ramp pieces in position. Those steel mesh can go down there, the detonator can go down here with these dynamite and info, and I'll leave that dozer on the mountaintop. So then let's get a full clean out done on these CNC machines. I don't think we're going to get much money for these parts, but I want to sell them up anyway just to clean up everything here. So nuts and bolts there, 210k for those. The bearings isn't too bad there actually, but there's quite a lot of them there, 7,000. And gear, ooh, the gear is quite good there, very good. Electronic parts, not bad either. So we're up to 31 million. Wow. Now I guess the question is, what do we spend the money on? Well, of course, the answer is mining this mountain. As you can see up all the very way on the top of that there is where we just came from. So yeah, I'm going to get myself back over there, and we'll see about cleaning up that kind of platform where I'm going to be mining on. I need a little bit more room up there for my machinery to be able to comfortably get around the place, that's for sure. That loader was definitely kind of struggling for space. But the easiest way to make room is to just jump in the machinery and start digging. Everything will fall into place, that's for sure. But I'm super happy we got that 8-hopper dump deck figured out there in the end. It's a shame that I kind of made a mistake there with my input, my power input I should say. It would have been probably a lot easier to figure it out rather than going back after everything was down to try and fix it. But it's working now. It's not too pretty, but it's effective, and that's what matters, right? Anyway, cheers for watching. I do appreciate that. All the best to you.